We're doing repetitive tasks and it's getting so much of our time and it's not actually sustainable for us. And that's where Sprout came in. We used to do it for a week, but we were able to do it in 3 days. It seems a lot of time.
How much time could you put this our payroll system? Reduce manual work with caution. Process payroll more accurately. Easily track attendance and manage 201 files. Get in-depth HR analytics and robust payroll reporting, plus seamlessly integrate with other systems. Employees also get an easier way to clock in, file leaves, plus quick access to pay slips through a user-friendly mobile app. Companies with Sprout HR and payroll can also enable employees access to earned wages and emergency funds. Transform your HR and payroll with Sprout. Save time, boost efficiency, and make employees happier every step of the way. Book a meeting with us today.
What makes a great employer? Empathy is important. Employees aren't numbers on the balance sheet. They're people with dreams and aspirations, families, personal interests. You need to find ways to listen and get feedback and let them know their voices are heard and really matter. Great employers should also be forward-thinking and innovative. So you shouldn't be afraid of automation and AI. The goal is make the work experience better for everyone. And that's what makes a great employer.
All right, good morning, everyone. So thanks for spending part of your day with us here at Sprout in Action. So I'm Sam Wong, and I'll be your host this morning. Today's session is all about the future of HR workflows. So it's a live demo of AI in action. Now, I know HR teams juggle a lot, compliance, engagement, retention, you name it. But too often we still get stuck with repetitive manual work. The question is, what if your HR system didn't just automate, but it actually helped you get things done? So that's exactly what we're going to explore today. So some quick housekeeping before we jump in. So this session is being recorded, so you'll get a copy in your inbox. If you have any questions, drop them in the Q&A box anytime, and we'll tackle them later on. All right, so before we dive into today's insights, a quick word about who's behind this event. Established in 2015, Sprout Solutions is the largest and most trusted homegrown B2B SaaS company in the Philippines. Now, on our 10th year and servicing clients both locally and across Southeast Asia, we continue to follow our North Star of impacting lives and improving businesses by helping organizations and their employees succeed through AI-enhanced HR, fintech, and business solutions. All right, so now let's get right into it. Okay, so to kick things off, let's take a look at how Sprout HR takes care of the core day-to-day. So please welcome Owen Diamantes, Solutions Consultant of Sprout, to walk us through it.
Hi everyone, good morning. First, let me share my screen. So I'll be doing a product walkthrough for a while. Let me know if you can now see my screen.
Yep, Owen, we can see it.
Okay. Ay, wait. Okay, so let me start first with the employee dashboard. So again, we have different dashboard. We have the manager, we have the employee, and we have the admin. But for these purposes, I'll be doing a product walkthrough of both employee dashboard and the manager dashboard. For the employee dashboard, let me show you how to file different attendance-related requests like leave, overtime, undertime, official business, schedule adjustment, and certificate of attendance. And take note, we can also set up policies for each. For example, when do you allow employees to apply for vacation leave? Let's say vacation leave should apply a week prior. So no, any vacation leave apply less than a week will automatically be rejected by the system. Or let's say for instance your policy for sick leave, it should be applied 2 days after, so any sick leave applied on the third or onwards will automatically be rejected by the system as well. So in other words, it will be Sprout HR who will implement your HR and company policies. Okay, so let me show you how to do it. And also, by the way, leave crediting can also be automated in the system. We can set that up that, let's say, employee will receive 10 VL, 10 SL on the start of the year or every hiring anniversary. Or if it's an accrual basis, let's say employee will receive 1 day leave every end of the month or first of the following month, we can also automate and set that up. And let's say employees apply for leave more than the available leave credits, part of which will be with pay, and any excess of the available leave credits will automatically be without pay. And employees will know it even upon application. So in other words, up in the upcoming payroll, employees would have an idea if there is a salary reduction in the coming payroll. You all can also enable file attachment. Should you want employees to attach any supporting document, we can enable that. And they can put the reason why they want to take a leave. There's also an option, should you want it half day or whole day. If it's half day, you have to choose, is it the first or second half of the day? Then click apply. Once you click apply, it will go through approval process. We can have up to maximum of 5 level of approvers. And if it's more than one approver, we have two approval process flow. We have the sequential and we have the parallel. When we say sequential, it is ladderized. It should be approved first by the first approver. Once approved by the first approver, second approver will be notified. And once approved by the second approver, third approval will be notified, and so on. If the second approver or even the first approver disapprove or reject the application, the succeeding approver won't receive notification anymore. It will already be considered as disapproved. Okay, so this is, by the way, we can also cater different leave type. We're not just limited on the government mandated leave. If you have leave that is not mandatory, for example, birthday leave, you can also set that up in the system. Overtime, you can also set policies. For example, overtime should be pre-approved. So any overtime applied after they render it will automatically be rejected. Or should you want overtime to be applied at least 2 days after, we can also set that up. On the third day onwards, any auto application will automatically be rejected by the system. We have different OT classification, no? We have the normal OT. This is the overtime after the basic hours, after the 8 hours. We also have early overtime. That's overtime before the start of the shift. Okay, you can also enable the attachment. Employees can put the reason why they render overtime. And again, once you click apply, it will go through approval process. Okay. There are different ways, by the way, for employees to clock in and clock out. We have the biometric device. We have a compatible biometric device, the one with ADMS function. Usually, the brand is ZK Teco. So in other, if the biometric device is with ADMS function, all logs will go straight to Sprout in real time without any human intervention. Another option would be the web bundy, this one, this clock in and clock out. We can enable this for a certain group of employees or an employee. And once the employee clock in using the web bundy, IP address will be captured. And the third option for clocking in and clocking out is the mobile app. In the mobile app, we have this so-called geolocation. That's two, geotagging and geofencing. When we say geotagging, employees can time in and time out anywhere. The system will just capture the location as to where they clock in and clock out. While geofencing is we will restrict certain area where they can only clock in and clock out. Beyond the restricted area, automatically it will be rejected or the system won't accept those clock in and clock out. We can set using the minimum of 100 meters, or we can set using the maximum of 300 meters. We also have increment of 50. We can set 150 meters or 250 meters. Once the payroll is done, you've already processed, you've already reviewed, and was already approved, employees can view their payroll. So just click this show because it's hidden. Employees can view their last payroll, their year-to-date payroll, and even their BIR 2316. So once you already submit your alpha list to BIR, the payroll master can post the payroll, the BIR 2316 in the Sprout payroll side, so employees can download their own 2316. Again, the 2316 that can be downloaded here is the latest 2316. In this case, the 2024 2316. If employee clicks view more, they'll be redirected to the payroll summary. So you employees can check their payroll summary each cutoff since the start you've subscribed with Sprout. If they click view, it will generate payslip. So payslip is viewable, payslip is downloadable, payslip is printable, and also payslip is configurable. Although the configuration of payslip will only be done by the payroll master on Sprout payroll side. Employees cannot configure their own payslip. It will only be the payroll master. Okay. Employees have also visibility of their own attendance discrepancies. We have this so-called resolution center. This is where attendance discrepancies appear. For example, missed logs, or there was a schedule conflict. Let's say, for instance, yesterday, my schedule was supposed to be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., but I logged in at 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Employees will be notified the following day that there was schedule conflict from yesterday. That's even before they cut off, even before the payroll. So employees can resolve those attendance discrepancies immediately. But of course, it will still go through approval process. So any application to resolve the attendance discrepancy will still go through approval process. Okay. Let me go to the manager dashboard naman. So this is the manager dashboard for a while. So managers have visibility of the attendance of the team. You'll see here that this is Barry Marvin, by the way. Barry Marvin can view that Antelis Wedge is running late. One of these employee, which is Louis Budin, is also running late, and so on. Of course, managers have approval center. This is where all applications of the employees appear. For example, employee apply for vacation leave, apply for overtime. Those application will go to the approval center of the manager, and this is where they can approve, they can reject, or they can resend application. But apart from this, no, there's also notification via email. So approval can also be done in the email. There's approve, reject, resend in the email. And at the same time, approval can also be done via mobile app. Okay. Of course, manager is an employee, so there would also be my staff, and that's where they can apply for different attendance-related requests like leave, overtime, official business, certificate of attendance, and schedule adjustment. Another feature in the manager dashboard, we have this so-called fill-in button. This is manager can delegate the approval. For example, and a manager will take a leave for 1 week. They can temporarily pass on the responsibility of being approver. Just switch this on and look for a co-supervisor or co-manager. And once you click save, it will be passed on to the co-supervisor or co-manager. Once they get back from the leave, just switches this on, and the approval will go back to the to Marvin Berry. Okay. Marvin Berry or the manager can also manage the schedule of their employees. Under My Teams, manager can change the shift of his or her employees. For example, I want to change the schedule of Zane. Just click manage schedule. And the change of schedule can be a new default schedule. It can be a multi-shift or schedule adjustment, meaning just for a certain days. So let me try for this schedule adjustment. Let's say for Monday 29 up until Tuesday 30th. So the schedule of this employee is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., but just for Monday and Tuesday, that's September 29 and September 30, it'll be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Once you click save, employee will be notified via email. So employee will receive notification that on Monday, September 29 until Tuesday, September 30th, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., the schedule now will be at 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay. As a manager also, there is this My Team stats this month. So managers can view the OT work, OT applied of the employees, and the different applications like official business. If employee applied for change of schedule, applied for leave like vacation leave, sick leave, and other leave that is applicable to different employees. And this can also be downloaded to as an image, chart, document should you need for reporting purposes. Okay. So that would be it in a quick view. That would in a nutshell, that would be Sprout HR. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Sir Owen. So that was a very solid look at how the essentials are handled. But here's where it gets exciting. AI. This is about moving from just automation to real intelligent support that makes HR faster and smarter. And guiding us through this part of the demo is someone who helps create strategies and materials that connect Sprout's products with the market. He's part of the customer success story team, working closely with clients to share their experiences with Sprout. A graduate of De La Salle University, Lance has also supported underserved Filipino students through the nonprofit Kada Career. And when he's not at work, you'll usually find him reading, watching movies, or going on long walks. We're excited to have him with us today. So, Lance, over to you.
Thanks so much, Sam. Hi guys. So I'll be demoing to you guys how Sprout's AI capabilities is actually here to enhance the Sprout HR platform because it's all actually integrated into one platform, so you don't have to go anywhere else, right? So this is let me share my screen. Uh, Yeah, so this is the um, website where we host all of Sprout's AI agents, right? So you don't have to look anywhere else to find the different agents that Sprout is releasing, and releasing a lot this year. So it just the first four just came out a couple of months ago, and more are coming by the end of the year, and more are coming next year as well. And most of the agents that we're releasing also are free. So as long as you're a Sprout client, you'll be able to take advantage of the different agents that we have available. Right. So what agents are these? So let me start first with the HR agent, right? So the HR agent is here to um, make it easier for your administrators, for your managers to handle like inquiries from maybe from your company, from your team, right? If they're asking for information for their HR information, right? Because um, maybe you guys have had experience about this, especially for the HR admins or managers here on the call with us today, right? Like, have you, if you've experienced like your employees or your team members going to you and asking about, hey, how many leaves do I have left, right? Or what is my can you tell me my SSS or Pag-ibig ID because I need to apply for something, right? Or how many, well, like what's my new schedule, because of like maybe the company is going through a lot of changes, and the employee would like to refresh like what's their current schedule right now, like with the team, right? So all of these um is normally coursed to the HR admins or the managers, and that takes up time, right? So HR agent is actually here to help you reclaim that time so that you can do so that the managers and admins can focus on more impactful things, like maybe focusing on helping employees adjust performance evaluations, right? With upskilling team members, or doing other more strategic things. So I will proceed with the demo. So this is the HR agent. So you can actually ask it what it can help you get, what it can help with, right? So it's just going to do a little bit of thinking, but after a while, it's going to be saying, "Hi, Janine." Oh, I'm sorry. This is a that's the count. But it can tell you about all of these things, right? So as long as it's HR related question about your information, it's going to be able to give back the information. So for example, um, there's been a shift. Let's say for example, you're an outsourcing company, right, or a BPO company, and there's been a change in the schedule of your employees, and you want to make sure um, that they stay updated with the new shifting, right? Maybe some of them have been moved to night shift, some of them have been moved to very early morning, right? Or some of them have been moved to the day shift, right? So instead of fielding these questions one by one from your concerned maybe employees, you can encourage them to just ask it in HR agent. So for example, what is my schedule? Right. So this is accessible to all employees, so it's not just the admins who have this capability, right? And just after a couple of seconds of the AI agent thinking, like retrieving the information because it's integrated directly to Sprout HR. So it's going to be able to give um, the accurate information or the most updated schedule based on what has been put in Sprout HR. Right. So for example, in my case, it's 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then there's a break time of 12 to 1 p.m. And then it's these are normally not rest days, right? So this may look different from company to company and depending on the shift, right? So maybe for outsourcing companies, right, there's going to be night shift. So this might be, let's say, 11 to 5 or something like that. So it all depends on what kind of information has been already put in Sprout HR, and HR agent just retrieves that for them, right? So you can also ask it, like, let's say, for example, the holidays are coming, uh, are getting closer already, right? So, mag-Halloween na, tapos we're gonna have Christmas soon. So maybe your employees are already looking into having vacations, or they're planning their Christmas breaks already with their families, and maybe you're already getting a lot of emails na, ano, sir or miss, how many leaves do I have left? I'm planning to take a leave from this day to this day. So instead of again fielding those questions one by one, you can just encourage them to ask HR agent as well, because again it's synchronized to their Sprout HR platform, right? So how many leaves do I have left? So after it does its thinking, it's gonna be able to it's gonna what the agent basically does is that it looks into the information associated to that employee, what's their information, and then it gives it back to them. Right. So in this case, I don't have any more leaves, so maybe you'll see me working throughout Christmas, but then for different employees that you have, so it's going to be different. Right. So like it all depends on what their HR information is. All it does is that it just gives it back to them without having to course their questions to. right? So this is also helpful if if the employees are trying to fix any attendance issues, right? So one of the things that it's able to help with is attendance report. So instead of having to dig up files or information about your employee on the days that they are maybe they forgot to clock in or they forgot to clock out, right? Or they forgot to file their official business or certificate of attendance, right? So you can just ask them to ask HR agent to check which days have like have discrepancies. So for example, what is can you give me my attendance report or log? So again, since it's synchronized to Sprout HR, it's going the information that they get back is going to be unique to that employee, right? So for example, it's telling me that I did not I missed the clock in window for today, so it's already marking me as late, and then I haven't clocked out today yet, so it's still pending, right? So this is very useful if they're trying to see, like, let's say it's been super busy the past couple of weeks and maybe your employees have been have forgotten to clock out or clock in because they needed to do the work. So this is a good like way to check um what days they need to file certificate of attendances for. So yeah, so this can also give you things like your government ID. So can you give me my government ID? So like what I mentioned a while ago, there might be some of them who might be needing their government IDs, maybe SSS, Pag-ibig, PhilHealth, or what have you, right? For one reason or another. So instead of again coursing this question to you, the HR admins or managers can just encourage the employee to check out HR agent and to get that information for themselves. Right. So what else would I like to show you? Oh yeah, it can also show them the HR information of that employee. So if there's anything else that they want to know, just simply type can you show my HR info? Right. So it's going to get everything else that's related to their employee profile, maybe, right? The different identifying marks or unique information related to that employee. It's going to be able to give it back to you in just a couple of seconds. So again, this is a time saver for admins and managers because now they don't have to take care of every single question per employee, and especially if they're handling multiple teams across different branches, right? So they can just ask them to go through HR agent. So yeah, that is HR agent. So there's another thing that I wanted to share is I think our most advanced AI agent so far, and this is called Concierge. So let's just type it here. Sorry. So in this case, Sidekick Central has two tabs pala. I forgot to mention, right? There's the added and directory. So added is the things that are already enabled for your company. So HR admins have the power to turn on and off certain agents. So let's say, for example, no, I don't need this certain bot, and I don't want my employees getting confused on which one um to access, right? So you can just turn off the bots also for your company. You can just flick it on and off here. No. So in our case, we want to add the Sprout Concierge because this one, since it's our most customizable bot yet, there's a bit of setup involved, but it pays off later on because the amount of information that you give it is going to be what it's going to be helping with, right? It's you're basically building your own customizable AI agent that can help with whatever it is you upload with, right? So for example, let's say I'm a restaurant, right? And I want my employees to always have the information on hand on what are the protein values of different kinds of, right? So maybe you have a lot of customers who are always asking, oh, how many grams of protein yung etong food menu na ito? Or just in case that you're creating recipes, right? Or you're experimenting with different food, right? So for whatever reason you might need it, you need that kind of nutritional value coming from certain foods, right? But it's usually hassle, right? Because you have to look at the maybe a long list of food items, and then you have to look at how many grams and what's the serving size to get that amount of grams, right? So but in this case, you can use Concierge to actually help out with this. So let's set it up, right? So let's say I am restaurant food assistant. I'm calling the bot restaurant food assistant because I wanted to be able to help with the different the providing the protein values, right? Helps teams with providing nutritional Nutritional value for. So, after you've described it, you can also select the persona. So this is just the way that the bot is going to answer. So, as a default, you can just click search. So it's flexible and considerate, but there's different kinds of personas here as well that would change the way that they answer you. So, for example, if you need somebody really, really strict, like let's say, for example, you're creating a concierge for rules and regulations or company policies about your company, right? And you need to make sure that this is sobrang by the book, or it does not or like compliance is mandatory, or like absolutely essential. Then you can click someone like Rachel, where the answers are strict and very by the book. Or if you're looking for some, or for a persona that's a bit more witty, maybe that's your branding that you're going with, then there's also options for that. But for testing or for demo purposes, I'm going to be showing what search looks like. So, and I'm going to be telling, so there's different expertise that are preloaded already, right? But if your purpose for the bot does not fit any of these categories, you can just click default. And then after that, here comes the exciting part, because now you can upload different data sources that the bot will be using as a basis of their answers, right? So it's not going to be drawing from the internet. It's not going to be hallucinating because, oh, sabi dito sa link na to, ito yung sagot. Instead, it's just going to be drawing its answers straight from the files. So there's different options that you can do it. So there you can upload a file. You can upload a URL from Zendesk, or you can upload a website URL. So for testing purposes, we're going to be using a file because I have downloaded the nutritional value so that we can showcase it today. And here are some tips, or to make sure that the file that you're uploading is as accurate or as reliable as possible, right? So there's a couple of guides here that we're suggesting to make sure that the experience is better, right? So for one, we encourage you to include only relevant information. So this reduces the time it takes for the bot to parse through the information, and also it reduces possible inconsistencies, or providing information that's not, that's not important, right? And then there's also, you can also start removing redundant labels or statements, right, that don't provide any value. So just really focus on creating a document that has all of the information that you need. So you can also start removing images because it just adds to the size and disregards images as well. And if it contains links, you have to spell out the URL. So it's not able to read hyperlinks yet. So right now, we encourage you to turn those links to something like this, where the entire URL is spelled out. So here's another quick guide. So we're encouraging the kind of format, like the kind of format to support this: PDF, doc, PowerPoint, and HTML, and as much as possible, typewritten siya, and under 50 megabytes per PDF file, and it's not password protected. So if all of this is met, just quickly go to your click browse files, and I have loaded up different examples here. So what I'm going to be using as an example is the nutrition of protein, right? Kasi, yun nga, diba? You're a restaurant and you want this kind of information always available to your employees. So after you've uploaded that, it's going to be training the bot. Yun. And then it's gonna be able to and then you can already start testing it by clicking save. You don't have to click live yet, because live, that means other admins can already start looking at it, right? Or other employees might be able to see it already. But if you just want to test it out and make sure that it's giving the correct information, you don't have to click live yet. You can test it out here. So I have some sample questions here that we can ask it. So for example, um, I want to know what kind of food um it can help with. Maybe just to test out if the bot is working as intended, right? Sana gumana. So right now it's reading the information that you've uploaded. And okay, so it's able to read the document, and it's telling you that this is where the resource that it used to get that information, right? So right now you can already see ito yung mga different kinds of food that it has information on. And again, this will change as long as you keep adding more data sources, and you can create as many of these agents as you want, right? So there's no limit. Um, and then you can start asking it questions, right? Just to further test out if it's working as intended, right? So maybe you would like to know about dairy products. So yeah, this is just showing you that where it's getting its information, right? So this one is straight from the document itself, but what the bot does is that it's able to get that information for you quickly without you having to open the file, manually look for it, and then um do that for the rest of the different files or important documentations that you have as well. So it's acting as an assistant for all of the files that you're uploading because it can give you the answers instantly. No? So you can even start asking it different kinds of questions. Like you can even ask it to suggest combinations of the different ingredients to create a high protein meal, right? So in this case, it's just going. The recipes are nothing crazy, but if you do upload the recipe book, then it's gonna be able to refer to that information as well. No? So I hope this is showcasing like the potential of this bot because imagine you're a sales team, right? And then you find yourself needing to refer to a lot of different files or documents all the time when you're talking to prospects, right? So instead of like, risking like looking for the files one by one or baka mawala mo yung file, especially if it's printed, right? Then if you have a concierge agent that's trained to provide the different that information for your products and services, then you'll always have it um within access. Parang you can always instantly access it by going to that concierge agent, right? Because now instead of manually holding different kinds of files or different tabs open in your laptop, you can just ask the concierge agent, "Hey, my client is looking for X, Y, and Z. Can you give me information on that?" So it's just going to take some time to get that information for you, and it's going to be able to give it back to you. No? So we can have another example. Let's say um you are um you are selling cars, Toyota Vios, Toyota Fortuner, right? You're an automotive company, and you want a way for your employees to always have the information about the cars whenever they need, right? So let's go back to creating a new concierge agent para hindi siya malito on which kind of information is going to be referred, right? So we'll click add again and then say car company assistant, right? And then helps with car information for the company. And then let's say that we're going to use Surge again just so we can showcase the capabilities or use default. And again, this is where you upload the information that you need. So again, take these into consideration. And then I have here already some pre-downloaded items so that we can test it out here, right? So I got these files straight from the Toyota website, so you can go and get it. You can also check it out for yourselves if you want to cross-check the information um that we're seeing here. And after you've uploaded the files on it, just click trade. It'll take a little bit. So the bigger the file is, the longer it takes a little bit to train it. But after it's done, it will say trained naman. And then you can click save. And then you can already start asking questions about the cars. So for example, I want to know about um Toyota Vios, right? So I would just ask it this question, and it should be able to give me the information I need in just a couple of seconds, right? Okay, so the previous agent was customized to help with nutritional value with food, right? But if you're in another industry entirely, Concierge is still here to help to act as your company AI assistant by giving you the information you need instantly. So in this case, we asked about Toyota Vios. So it's able to give you a brief rundown already of the information associated with Toyota Vios, right? So let's say you want to learn about, maybe you have a client that is very concerned about the safety and security of driving, right? Maybe you can ask it then tell you about its functions and safety and security details, right? So what it's going to be doing is, again, it's going to be scanning the document, and it's going to be able to return to you what kind of safety and security features it has. So in this case, Toyota Vios has these kinds of functions. And for in terms of security, it has an alarm system, and for security, it will specify naman if there are other um details that are missing from the document, so it has a little bit of knowledge there. So in some cases, these might just be a matter of formatting. So if you think naman that the document that you uploaded has this kind of information, all you have to do is clean up the formatting a little bit, then it should be able to detect it. So let's say I want the customer is also wondering, oh, how does the Vios compare to the Fortuner? So you can also ask that, make comparisons, right? Since you have documents naman on both, it should be able to return to you a summary of each, right? So for example, Toyota Vios, it tells you the engine type, transmission, security features, and overall dimensions. And Fortuner is the same, and it gives you a summary also. So again, like all of these kinds of information is something that you can ask from your agent, and it's only gonna get better the more information you upload to it so that it has more context. It can help with additional items, right? So all you have to do is upload the source, and then if the status says trained, then it should be good to go. No. So yeah, that's Consurge. So I hope that was fun to see and fun to watch, and I hope that you're gonna be able to imagine how it's gonna be able to help um your companies as well. So it's not limited to just the food and the automotive industry that I was able to showcase today. But you can also use it for different kinds of industries. The only requirement really is that you're able to upload that data source in the format specified. So yeah, um, so Concierge is the only agent that uses a credit system. So um but all Sprout clients are given a set amount of credits every month, and it refreshes every month. So if, let's say for example, the company doesn't need to use it like every day or a lot of times, right? But they do need it for certain times or during certain pitches. Then there are free credits there to help um with the maybe trial period or maybe just testing out if it's what you need. So you don't have to pay right away for the credits as well. So just a little bit of info, just in case you're wondering about the pricing of these things. So that was the most exciting one, but we have more agents that I would like to show you. So all Sprout clients also have free access to the info agent, right? So the Sprout info agent is Sprout's way of providing 24/7 product support to our clients, right? So it's able to um, help with any of the first party products of Sprout. So it can be like it can answer questions like what is this product or troubleshooting. It can help with troubleshooting. It can help also with giving instructions on how to access certain features. So I think best to show you um, on its capabilities, right? So for example, you are a admin or manager and you want to check how many times an employee has been absent, right? And maybe you weren't there during the training session or you're forgetting at the moment, you can just ask it here directly. How can I check the number of days an employee was absent in the attendance report through Sprout HR? So all you have to do is ask that question, and in a couple of seconds, it's going to be able to give this back to you. Yeah, so it gives a step-by-step process, and you can be assured that this kind of information is updated because the files themselves are something that Sprout manages. So as soon as um, details are updated, it should reflect here soon. Soon. And then you can also ask things like let's say you want to refresh yourselves on how to do certain things with as an admin or a manager of Sprout HR, using Sprout HR dashboard, right? You can also ask this question. Yeah. And it's even able to link you out to more detailed instructions in case you need it. So for this case, it's linking you out to these documents, and if you click that, it just takes you to a more in-depth view of the instruction or the guide that it's giving, right? So ito, detailed lang talaga siya, but if you just need a quick refresher, then this is where you go. And one more showcase of what Sprout Info is able to do is like let's say for example you just want a reminder of how to compute holiday pay, or you want to see the breakdown for holiday pays, right? Then you can also ask them. Yeah, and it also redirects you to different um sources as needed, right? And if there's anything else that you'd like to know, like maybe you don't you're kind of stuck with what else Sprout Info can help you with, you can always ask like what products can you help me with? Then it should be able to provide to you all the different information, all the different products that it can assist you with. So yeah, that is Sprout Info. I hope you found this useful. And again, all clients have access to Sprout Info for free. This one doesn't have a credit system, so long as you need support, you have a 24/7 agent, AI agent that's here to support you with anything Sprout product related. So I have one more HR agent I would like to share with you, and it's called HR Link. So HR Link is here to provide guidance on the labor and compliance and regulation laws of the Philippines, right? So just to start off with a quick disclaimer, it's not supposed to replace like actual legal advice or legal services, but what it does help with is providing guidance or just providing additional context for certain legal matters that you might be looking into, so that you're given more context, or your lawyers have more information to go with, right? So for example, you'd like to ask, um when is the deadline of a BIR alpha list, right? Let's say, for example, you want to make sure that the you don't get the dates wrong for when you have to do government compliance, then you can also ask that for HR. Yeah. So it's taking a while. So there's going to be instances wherein it's gonna take some time before the agent's gonna be able to give it back to you. But maybe while we're waiting, we can try out another prompt as well. So let's say, for example, you've been an employee has been or maybe you've been putting in a lot of overtime hours, and you want to know like what's the standard rate. Then you can ask HR Link or information on what's the standard rate for overtime pay. So anything that is Philippine labor law related, workers' rights, employee benefits, wages, and anything along those lines, then HR Link should be able to help out with. But again, not a replacement for legal services. It's just there to provide additional guidance on Philippine compliances. So yeah, that's all the agents that I wanted to share with you. But there's one more thing. Um, so it's not an agent, but rather I want to show you how integrated it is to Sprout HR. So because there's two ways that you can access it. I mean, access this Sidekick Central um platform, right? So one way is that if you are already logged in to your employee dashboard. So this is my employee dashboard. Can you see my screen? Okay, I think I can. You guys can see my screen, like the new dashboard.
Yep, we can see it, Lance.
Cool. Okay. So for example, if you're already here and you want to quickly check, then all you have to do is click this. Then it takes you directly into um into the Sidekick Central landing page as well. So that's one way. Sorry, it's taking a little bit of time to load, but it should lead you to the homepage that we were looking at earlier. Okay, maybe it's getting confused because I have too many things logged in, but it drops you off here right after you click it from your HR dashboard. And the other way that you can access it is just by typing directly the link. So all you have to do, like let's say you're a Sprout client and you want to access it for the first time. So you would type in Sprout, and then all you have to do is type in the same credentials for your HR dashboard. So same email, same password. Since it's fully integrated and synchronized, then it should also take you back to um, this page after that. So really, it's all in one place, and you have two ways to go about it. And all you have to do is, I guess, you can just save this, and then so you can access it whenever you need it. So yeah, that's everything. So I hope you guys found that fun and interesting, and I'm giving it back to you, Sam. Thank you.
All right. Thanks again, Lance. That was a really great look at how AI can really change the game in HR. So now if you'd like to dig deeper into how companies are using technology to move beyond manual work, we've got something special for you. So it's called Future Proofing HR with AI, an essential guide for HR leaders. So the big idea is simple. AI is a co-pilot, not a replacement. HR teams that pair AI with a strong people first culture are hiring better and keeping talent longer. So, inside, you'll find through people and purpose how job embeddedness, fit, links, sacrifice keeps employees engaged. You'll also find how AI is a co pilot and why 62% of employees already use AI and what HR leaders need to know about compliance, clarity, and simplicity. You'll also learn how outcomes that matter through faster, fairer hiring, better candidate role fit, and early detection of attrition risk. So if you're interested, just scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the chat to get your copy. All right. And other than that, we also want to hear from you. So we would really appreciate it if you could take a moment to answer our short feedback form. So it should be showing up on the screen in a little bit. Okay. There. Okay. There. Cool. So your thoughts really help us improve each session and make future editions of Sprout in Action even more relevant and impactful. All right. So you might be already receiving a feedback form on your screen. So we really appreciate it if you could answer that feedback form. I also hope that everyone's staying safe during the weather conditions now recently, yesterday and today. So I hope everyone's staying safe and dry. Okay. Yep. So the feedback form's pretty simple. So just a couple of questions and you can just fill them up and submit before we move on to the next segment. All right. So I think we can already move on to the next segment. We can now open the floor for questions. So some of you already left questions for us. So we have Owen and Lance back with us. And I see some good ones already that came in earlier. So we can get started. Don't be shy, by the way. So send more questions our way if ever other questions come to mind throughout the Q&A. Okay. So I think we have Owen and Lance back already. Okay. So I'll start reading some of the questions for Sir Owen and Lance. So I think this one's for Sir Owen. Paano kung nag-file ng leave ang employee nang nagpas na sa date ng leave niya kaya hindi natin natanggap? Ano ang pwede niyang gawin para ma-file pa rin ito?
I think nasagot ko na rin siya pero yung sagot natin doon 'no. So kapag gano'n, kapag nakaset talaga natin na let's say it should be applied one day after, so any application applied on the second day onwards, hindi na talaga tatanggapin 'yun not unless i-update natin yung policy. So puwede naman natin i-update yung policy, front end naman 'yoon and pagka na-update na puwede uli i-resend ni employee. Sam, naka-mute ka po.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Puwede niyo i-reapply.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you. All right. Sige. So, for the next question, I think this is for Lance. Are there extra charges for activating Sprout AI?
No. The only thing that is there's no extra charges for activating the AI aspect. It's already part of the package, right? The only time that there would be extra charges is if you want to extend the credit limit, but otherwise, like HR agent, info, HR link is free forever.
Got it. Thanks, Lance. And another question for you. Does Sidekick support language localization and can it be accessed via Sprout HR?
Yes. Accessing bias Sprout HR, yes, I was able to um showcase it a while ago. You just have to click the bot. Let me know if you want to see it again. Whether it supports localization, yes, it does. So I was also able to try speaking in Tagalog Taglish, that it should be able to understand that as well.
Okay, got it. Lance, some of these questions are for you, so I'll
Yeah.
just send them your way. So regarding AI, can it be used to generate executive summary reports?
The the executive summary reports, this one, I think it should be able to, depending on the AI agent that you use. So, for instance, we have this one I wasn't able to showcase, right? But we have a agent called General Chat, and one of the it's basically Chat GPT but Sprouts version, right? So what it does is that it's able to generate content, brainstorm with you, write content as well, and one of the things that it can do as well is summarizing different reports. So if you upload your file or upload the copy that you want to be summarized, then it should be able to generate a report for you as well.
Got it. So Sidekick's like very powerful in that sense of like summarizing really complex data, a large set of data.
Yes.
Someone also asked Lance, how do we ensure that AI enhances rather than replaces the human element in HR?
All right. Yeah, that's a great question. I think this is the one thing that is, I think a lot of people are very hesitant about and super understand where it's coming from. But here at Sprout, the way that we see AI is that it's a force multiplier for the people, right? So it's not there to substitute, but it's there to empower or to enhance the human aspect of our clients of Sprout, right? So what does this mean? So it is up to the people, the HR leaders, to define the culture, the policies, and employee experiences, right? But what AI does is that it simply provides data-driven insights and automation to support the decisions, right? So, for example, um, you need to make a decision on whether you have to, but let's say you're trying to plan an event, right? Or you're planning to do an initiative, and um that's where AI can come in because it can help you with data by providing you data to support decisions. So actually the human aspect there is enhanced because now you don't spend a lot of time doing the robotic or manual things na, oh, kukuha muna ako ng file. Kukunin ko muna yung resource na yan. Instead, you can spend more time on like brainstorming, strategizing, and making more human connections, maybe by interviewing different teams or your employees about the initiatives you're planning to do. So it's actually there to enhance the more human aspect of of um, of your company, right? So another thing is that AI tools normally are there um give you data like, let's say, trends, no? Predict outcomes. So these are things na might be done faster if you use AI, pero deciding on what, interpretation, what to do about those data points, right? Like, uy, may nakita akong trend dito. You're not gonna let AI do all of the decision making for you. That's where you actually come in. The more human side of things na pag-discuss kayo, oh, kita natin sa data na to na ito yung nangyayari. Anong gagawin? So what it does, it just speeds up the process rather than waiting for maybe someone to manually do it just to arrive on the same point, right? What it does is that it speeds up or removes the burden of having to do those transactional things, right? And uh enhances the things that only humans can do, which is brainstorming, strategizing, and making sure that the human element or empathy um is always part of the answer or of the recommendations or initiatives that they plan, right? And additionally, um the way that we were able to showcase no AI a while ago is that it's just answering the questions for you quickly. So I think the concern was here, no, na parang if the basic HR questions, I know, parang AI na gumagawa, doesn't that, get in the way of developing a better relationship with people, right? I think that was the concern na, hala, AI na lang lahat. Parang di ko na kailangan kausapin yung tao. That's actually not the case. No? Because what it does is that it speeds up or like it removes the burden of administrative workload. So the conversations between you and your team, right? Or between like manager and employee, instead of talking about these things na, oh, can I get my HR? Oh, can I get my leaves, right? Your conversations or topics can be more parang personalized, can be more impactful. Kaya example, pwede kayo magchikahan instead of going through the day-to-day na information na, oh, sir, pwede po pahingi ng, how many leaves do I have left, how many what's my attendance record, instead of asking all of that, um instead of asking all of that, you can the conversation can be more of like, how can I help you grow, or how has the experience been, right? It can be more personal and more unique to that employee rather than things that, maybe pwede mo na i-computer, right? So it actually removes the robotic, no, because I don't think there's a parang the human element is very much just grabbing a document and giving it to someone, right? But instead, it's enhancing the part where you guys talk about things that AI can never, which is something that's uniquely human and something that can never be replaced, which is like conversations, career planning, these kinds of things, right? Or talking about how to, personal and professional careers. So all of this to say that the technology that we're using is just here, like we're putting people first talaga at the forefront of all um uh, of our solution. So even in the AI aspect, we want it to enhance the human aspect, not remove. No, so it's just here to enhance the human connection and allowing HR professionals to deliver a more personal and impactful employee experience. So sorry, mahaba ng sagot, but I hope that tells you like how we feel about this kind of sentiment, right? And how we're positioning AI in Sprout. So let me know if that helps.
Yeah, Lance, thank you so much for that answer. It really resonated with me that I feel like AI is really more of a force multiplier for HR professionals as opposed to, a substitute. And something that I would like to share with everyone here in the call as well. I feel like Sprout is very focused on human first design. So having HR leaders define the culture, policies, and employee experience, but letting AI provide those data-driven insights and automate so that HR professionals like yourself have the time and resources to actually focus on um, the strategy side and the decision making side. So yeah, thank you so much for that answer, Lance. More people have more questions for you, Lance. Can we generate images here? I with through Sidekick that we can use for marketing campaigns.
Oh, this one, not yet. Just complete transparency. This is something that we're like the entire AI aspect of Sprout is something that we're still working on. So this one is not yet available. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Lance. And then I also want to read some questions in the Zoom that have been answered through chat just for everyone's reference. Okay, so someone asked, how much will be the MSME monthly subscription if I only have 8 staff? So, as answered in the chat, you can just click book a meeting on our website to learn more about it. We encourage you to reach out to us because we can definitely get into a more in-depth conversation with you guys so we can really learn the needs of your business. Okay. All right. Um, I believe other questions for Lance, maybe quick yeses or nos because I think these are straightforward questions. So first, how do we get Sprout Agent to show in the HR dashboard? And can your login be supported by SSO so you don't have to input login credentials?
Yeah. So login is supported by SSO. So no need to yeah, sorry. The answer is yes. So it can be supported by SSO. And I think it shows Sprout agent shows up in the HR dashboard as soon as it's enabled already. Like the dashboard is available.
Okay, thanks, Lance. I'll also read another question from the Zoom Q&A. So, can the concierge agent give details about something written in the uploaded file but has no information about it? So the answer is, concierge can help organize and analyze information, large sets of information, to aid the user in digesting that large set of information. So it can only craft and provide answers based on what the agent is trained on. So, uh, to summarize, it can only answer questions as long as you train them to answer the question. Another one, is it possible to set PTO less than half a day, like 1 hour or 2 hours only? Some employees have been asking us about this possibility. So, as answered in the Zoom Q&A chat, at the moment, Sprout HR doesn't support filing PTO in increments smaller than half a day. For now, any leave request should follow your company's existing leave policy and minimum filing increments. That said, our new time and attendance module is already underway, and we're exploring more flexible options. So stay tuned for future updates that may allow hourly PTO or even leave requests. Yan. Okay. Um, I think a quick question. I think some people have asked Lance, and you can just confirm to clarify. Can Sidekick be accessed via Sprout HR?
Yes.
All right, there you go. Okay. Um, all right. Another question. Maybe this is for Sir Owen naman. Is there mobile access for both employees and managers?
Yes, there is. So employees can file a different attendance related requests via mobile app, and at the same time managers can approve any attendance related request via mobile app as well.
Ayun. Thank you, Sir Owen. I think another question for you. Is there an easier way for rank and file employees to file an offset?
Yes, we have this so-called compensatory time off. We can enable that if you have this policy, and if employee work beyond their hours, their basic hours, they can apply for CTO if you don't want to, if employees don't want to file for overtime, meaning there won't be any overtime pay, magiging offsetting. So they can apply for CTO, but it will go through approval process. And once approved, mapupunta po yun sa CTO leave credits. Kapag nakabuo na po sila ng at least 4 hours na CTO, they can now apply for half-day CTO leave. And again, i-apply uli yun. And it will also be approved.
Ayun. Thank you so much, Sir Owen, for that very clear answer. I think some other questions are coming in. I believe this is for Lance. So, Lance, what are the credit limits for Sidekick and how do credits work? And how do we also track remaining credits?
Yeah, thanks for that question. So the credits you get your company, so the entire company, not just per user, right, gets 300 free credits for the month, and it refreshes on the first day of the next month, right? So this is where you can, if the usage is minimal, you can the 300 credits could suffice, and then the way it's used up is that if you ask a question in Concierge, then that's going to be 1 credit. But it doesn't count things like, hey, how are you? Yung mga small talk. No? So that one doesn't count in the credit limit because because for us it's always kind of fun to ask those questions sa AI. But things like, can you give me details on X, Y, and Z? Yung parang ginagamit na yung final use to answer. Then that's the one that uses the credit limit already. And so far, only Concierge is the one that requires a credit. The rest are
Got it. Thanks, Lance. So, very easy to check naman your credit limit while using Sidekick. Okay, so I have some questions for Sir Owen. So, does Sprout HR have two-factor authentication in place for login?
Yes, we have.
Ayun, love it. Succinct. So, another question, how do you encrypt and store the data on Sprout?
Sa akin ba yun? Encrypt?
Yes.
So yes, so data on transit at saka yung naka-stored is encrypted po siya. So automatic na po iyon. We're very particular when it comes to security. We're hosted in Microsoft Azure. Alam naman natin kung gaano ka-compliant ang Microsoft Azure. And we're also DPA certified.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much, Sir Owen. Yes, we use Microsoft Azure, so very compliant, very safe, and very secure. So thank you so much for that. I think we're down to our last few questions. This might be for Lance. Can employees use the AI features on mobile?
yes, the AI agent is available on both the web version, so Sprout HR dashboard, or through the mobile. So same lang yan, yung icon. Then you just have to click and then you can ask it already.
Cool. Okay. So, more questions. Um, can the AI handle personalized policies or just general HR questions?
Yes, it can handle personalized policies. You just have to use Concierge agent to upload your custom policies, so that that's the one that it can help you out.
Okay. All right. So another question that just got in. So what if there's a problem in the internet of the company? I believe you could just use mobile data or and use our mobile app if that's the case. All right. Some other questions. Maybe for Lance again. Can the AI handle? Oh, sorry. Where does AI get its data from, and how do we ensure that it's accurate?
Okay, it depends on which agent you're talking about. So if it's concierge, it's as accurate as the files that you're giving it, right? Um, so if you're able to upload the most updated documents or sources of data, then concierge should be accurate, right? For the others like Sprout Info, that one is regularly updated by the product team. So any new updates concerning features, capabilities should come to Sprout Info soon. HR Link is also um being updated on our end, um and then as well as if you're going to be using general chat, then it should be able to function as like chat gpt, wherein it can look for sources in the internet, right? So different cases, right? But if you want the most updated one, then concierge is the answer, because it essentially just references your own documents.
Got it. Thanks, Lance. For Sir Owen, if employees have leave conversion, can it be automatically added to the payroll system?
Yes, so we can set that leave can be converted to cash, can be carried over with or without um expiration, or it can be forfeited. For the going back to the question, can it be monetized or converted to cash? Yes, we can set that up that it'll automatically be converted to cash by the following year, or depending on your policy. Is it end of the year or the following year na?
Ayan, thank you, Sir Owen. I think there's another question here. Is it possible na hindi mag-clock in or clock out if rest day or holiday?
Yes, actually, if they can, pag rest day tsaka holiday, they don't have to clock in and clock out. But if they work on a holiday, dalawa po ang kailangan nilang gawin. Una, they have to file for schedule adjustment, and they have to clock in and clock out. Kailangan po yung dalawang yon. Kasi kapag nag-clock in and clock out lang po sila without any schedule adjustment applied and approved, it will only be a clock in and clock out. Wala pong premium payment na kukumpute ng system. There would be no holiday pay or rest day pay. So it needs to be applied, schedule adjustment needs to be applied, and at the same time, employees have to clock in and clock out.
Ayan, thank you, Sir Owen. Another question for you. Is there an option to file paid under time?
Undertime also is part of the attendance related request, aside sa leave, OT, official business. Undertime also is one of the option. But remember, undertime, kahit i-apply po iyon, it's still salary deduction. This is really more of notification or recording na itong araw na to is naka-undertime sa employee, just to get rid from the usual undertime slip na fini-fill upan natin. So Sprout, we go green po kami. So para hindi na tayo mag-fill up ng mga papel na yon, so pwede natin i-apply yung undertime through the My Staff, but again, salary deduction po pa rin yun.
Got it. Thank you, Sir Owen. Very clear answer. Another question for Lance, I believe. Okay, so is there a log of what employees ask the AI, and can the company or the admin audit those answers?
Um, no, I think whatever it is that's asked between like the agent and the employee, like um they have their own um parang it's only kept for that session, right? And then if you clear the conversation, like if you saw me clearing the conversation a while ago, it also wipes the history of the dog. So yeah, privacy is secured naman siya.
Okay, awesome. And another question, I believe for AI as well. How does it differ from regular knowledge bases or FAQs? So specifically for Sidekick.
How does it differ from regular knowledge bases, right?
Yes, or FAQ sites.
Okay. So, well, it depends on the agent you're talking about. So, um, for Sprout Info, let's say you would like to know more about a certain Sprout product, then the difference only from an FAQ site is that you don't have to look for it manually, right? So it can give you the answer right away on the chat itself. But if you're talking about like your FAQs, right, and then it's in um Concierge. If you're using Concierge, then it just returns whatever FAQ um content you have been able to upload. But again, it skips the part where you have to look for it. You just have to ask it. So that's, I think, one of the bigger values we're in. You don't have to spend a couple of minutes. Maybe it breaks your momentum, right? Looking for the correct file or the correct website, and you can just ask agent. Provided the file was already uploaded to them, then it gives you the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Lance. It really eliminates the time that it would take for you to search it yourself and, go through all that big block of text to just find the one answer you're looking for. Um, Another question, I believe this is for Sir Owen. Can Sprout HR cater to employees with different policies at the same time? So, for example, if a small number of employees have a different leave policy than the rest of the employees.
Yes po. So we can set naman different leave types. For example, we have multiple policies for vacation leave. My vacation leave applied for supervisors, vacation leave apply for rank and file, vacation leave apply for managers. We can set different policies for each leave type, for each vacation leave, and we can assign that sa different employees.
Ayan, thank you, Sir Owen. So it's very customizable in that sense to what your company needs in terms of like how different employees have different leaves policies applied to them. Another question, I believe for Lance, will we be able to train Sidekick on our own internal documents or rules?
Yes, you just have to use the concierge agent to train um your own agent, right? So I was able to showcase them on the tips and the guidance. So long as those are followed, the agent should be effective right away.
Very cool. Okay, so for Sir Owen, we follow a weekly work requirement of 40 hours. Will your system need customization to accommodate this setup?
So we have this so there are different schedule type. Meron pong normal shift or fixed schedule. May flexible per day kami at we also have flexible per week. Pwede natin ma-set na they need to complete 45 hours a week, 48 hours a week, then bayad na po sila for that particular cutoff. To answer your question, yes, meron po kaming, we call it the flexible per week.
Great. Thank you, Sir Owen. So, ayun nga, everyone, very flexible to what you need out of your HR. So there's someone who also wanted to go back up to undertime. So another question about undertime, Sir Owen. So if a manager permits an employee to clock out 30 minutes or 1 hour early, how can we prevent undertime deduction?
Okay, you can apply for certificate of attendance instead. So certificate of attendance, this is in lieu of their login and log out. So ang mangyayari, instead of filing undertime or pwede both, pwede sila mag-file undertime pero kung gusto niya bayaran, let's say ang shift niya should end at 6 p.m. pero 5:30 alis na siya, they can apply for certificate of attendance na 6 p.m. And that COA or certificate of attendance kapag na-approve will serve as their clock out. So hindi na po siya mababawasan ng 30 minutes.
Okay, thank you, Sir Owen. So yun nga, certificate of attendance in that scenario. All right, so another question, I believe this is for Lance. From who will be in charge of training the Sidekick chatbot from
Okay.
our company? Yes.
Okay, I think this one, the access is given admins, right? So whoever is holding on to the admin privileges, they will be the ones who will be able to customize the agent, upload the sources, right? So if you're worried about employees being able to train their own, parang hindi naman ganun yung um, accessible sa kanila. It's more for admins, and if inallow ng admins, I think even managers can do it. No? But usually managerial and above that.
All right, thanks, Lance. Okay, another question. Can we create a material or an infographic, I believe like a visual report, such as highlighting the difference between certificate of attendance and schedule adjustment via Sprout AI? So I feel like this is a Lance question since it's about Sprout AI capabilities.
Sorry, one more time. I think I like the question. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. So the question is, can we create a material to develop or an infographic that highlights the difference between a certificate of attendance and schedule adjustment via Sprout AI or Sidekick.
Okay, okay, gets. So image generation is not yet um available for any of the AI agents. But if you would like to just create a report on the difference between the two, then it can help with that. But image generation and infographic, not yet.
Okay, thanks, Lance. Another question. Can Concierge access files through links like existing databases saved in Google Drive instead of uploading as separate files that need to be updated every time?
Okay, so the current capabilities of Concierge is that it can take in files, um, Zendesk URLs, and website URLs. Now, I think for G Drive documents, I think you will need to first convert it to PDF and upload first. No? Parang if you're asking about a um live like auto updating siya because that yung link maybe you add more stuff to it, right? I think that one is not yet there. So I think it's more of like the time that which you upload the website or the PDF materials.
Okay, got it. Thanks, Lance. Um, Let me just look through some of the Q&As to see if we answered everything. Okay, Lance, I believe this is a question for AI. Is Sidekick secure? What guardrails are in place to protect sensitive data?
Great question. So Cyber Secure, yes. So it's hosted on Microsoft Azure, and Microsoft Azure is pretty certified on security and data privacy. And more than that, the files that you guys like, if you're worried that we can see it, no, we can't. It's unique to the company only, right? And then um the kinds of and as I mentioned a while ago, the trail that you guys are leaving is only also within your company. If you clear the conversation, that one is also um, removed as well. And in terms of accessing it, like if it's secure, well, the only way you can access it kasi is by your Sprout HR credentials. So long as those is kept secure, like let's say hindi siya na-compromise in a data breach or it wasn't hacked or anything, kasi same credentials siya, then it should be secure.
Got it. Thanks, Lance. And I'm sure that's a concern for anyone using any kind of AI tool, right? So rest assured, Sidekick's very secure. I believe this is the last question from the Q&A. So it is our first year with Sprout. Can we request for a webinar on how to process 13th month Alpha 2316 in preparation for year-end requirements and for January 2026 government reportorial requirements? So I believe I can answer this question, guys, so no need to worry. So I think we do allow retraining. So I think you can just reach out to your CSN and I'm sure they'll be happy to accommodate your request. Okay? And I believe that's it for our Q&A portion of the talk. Thank you so much, Lance and Sir Owen, for patiently answering everyone's questions and giving very insightful answers to all those questions related to HR and AI. They were very helpful. And that is a wrap for today. But before you go, I'd like to invite everyone to take our 2-minute survey on the tools that drive stronger teams, better connections, and lasting growth. So tell us what works best for your team today. So scan the QR code on your screen or click on the link that is shared in the chat, and you might just get a chance to win AirPods Pro 2, o diba? So why not, right? You just have to answer this really quick 2-minute survey. Ayan, so while you're answering that survey or scanning the QR code, I also just want to reiterate thank you so much to Owen and Lance for the live demos, and of course, thank you to all of you for joining us today. So we hope that today gave you a clear picture of how Sprout is shaping the future of HR, not just through automation, but with AI that makes everyday work smoother and easier for everyone. So again, I'm Sam Wong, and on behalf of the team, thanks again for being here. So until next time, stay future ready, and we'll see you at the next Sprout in action. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.
Salamat po.
Thank you guys. Thanks everyone.